Good morning, YouTube. How are you this morning? I am pretty good. Well rested, I think. It is about 9 o'clock Central Time, and I am in Fort Smith, Arkansas at the Home Depot store on Phoenix Avenue. When we talked yesterday, I finished getting it loaded, and then I went out back and started tarping the job. I will have to admit it took me 3 hours to tarp it. Not sure if you were paying attention to the weather yesterday, but there was a lot of wind. And the way the Home Depot DC is situated, the securement and tarping area is on the south side of the building up against it. So the south wind howling up was hitting the building and coming back, and then made a little vortex, nice little vortex there. I wasn't the only person having problems. There were even everybody had problems. I mean, it was just ridiculous. You get the tarp laid out, and then the wind would pick up and carry it off, or it would pull it up to the point where you would uncenter it, and it was a comedy. It would be comedy watching it on video. But I finally got it done. It took me about, like I said, 3 hours to secure it and then tarp it. I ended up having to get some help with the 8-foot drop, because I put a 4-foot on the back and an 8-foot on the front, because you know those loads always slant like this. They can't make them level. I'm not sure what the deal is. If they had made it level, though, it would have had to been 2 8-foot drops, and I would have lost my mind on that one. I did get some help from one of the guys that works on the yard there, securing and tarping loads for the dedicated guys, and finally got it at least pinned down and got it situated. It was ugly the whole way up here, and but I did leave, and of course once I started heading north, I had an awesome tailwind. The only problem was it was hitting the back of that upper tarp, and it was lifting the thing up, and it was oh well. I did end up stopping in Atoka last night on the way up, taking a shower there at the Pilot, and then taking off. And I did end up getting here to the store last night. It was late. It was about 10:40, and I had 4 minutes left on my 14, and 5 minutes left on my 70. So, excuse me, I did get here last night, parked the truck, and actually, when I was in Atoka, I was thinking about just staying there because I had a good parking spot. And I was like, no, you know what? I need to get up there. It'll save driving hours for the day. It'll make the day a little bit easier. And then the closer I got up here, the more I started to watch the weather, because I was coming up 69, and then I'm getting on 9A, Oklahoma 9A. I could see in the distance the storms. So I started looking at the radar, and I was like, whoa. Well, after I got here, they actually intensified, and they blew through about I think it was about 1:05, 1:10 in the morning. They lasted about an hour and 45 minutes. And it came down. I mean, the wind and hail, and I mean, it's just, oof. Well, I guess around about 1:45, I felt the trailer shift. I was like, oh, crap. Because the wind was just, but that was the only one little problem. I got up this morning, and on the front of this load was an untarped set of plastic PVC pipe. The wind, I guess, had caught it and shifted it, because it was nice and straight. Shifted and popped it. I was like, and broke the wood on it, so it was just there. I was like, oh man. So, but got up this morning at 8, and then went and checked in, and about 10 minutes ago I finished untarping, unsecuring. A little windy, but it's now from the north, and he just now starting to get it off. So I shouldn't be here for another more than 30 or 45 minutes. I do have a load. Got a pre-plan about, I don't know, about an hour before my rest break was up. Going down to Fort Smith. Never would have figured that one out, since I'm right here in Fort Smith. I figured they'd take me to Little Rock or something. Picking up a load of pipe, steel bars. I don't know why I say pipe. Steel bars, no tarp. Taking that down to Bull, Texas, in Houston. Been there a couple of times, and you know, it's just, I guess he's trying to figure out what he wants to take off the truck. But I'll let y'all know what's going on when I get to Fort Smith. Well, to the Maverick Yard. Good morning again, YouTube. How are you this morning? I'm not too bad. The wind has calmed down a bit, and it's nice and comfortable. It's about 50-something degrees. The sun is shining, and everything's wet. It is about 10:30 Central Time, and I'm on the Maverick Yard in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I'm picking up a load of gray bar, 5 bundles, 32 feet long, no tarps. It took him about another 35 minutes to get me done over there, and then I swung over here, checked in right on time. My appointment was for between 7 and 10, and checked in at 10. Maybe about 10 till 10, I think. I don't know. And then they gave me my loading area assignment. I'm over here waiting. Got it all set up. 6 timbers on the board. Got my belly wrap straps already in place, ready to be thrown, and got my pads for the chains ready, and everything's unlocked and ready to be set up. Once I get it on here, it'll take me about 30 minutes to get it secured, and then I'm going to run inside and take a quick shower, and then I'm going to head off. Unfortunately, Boltex down there in Houston does not have overnight parking. I got enough drive time to get there, 8 hours, but like I said, they don't have overnight parking, so I am going to try and make it to the Flying J in New Caney, Texas. I am probably going to end up having to pre-order a parking spot for that place. Not that it's that big of a deal. I do need to check though before I make a decision, because I believe there is a Flying J down there by the place, if I remember right, and I think they have reserved parking. And if I can swing it and get that far, then I will opt to go there. Really don't know. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day to go trucking, so I'm going to cut this one short since the last few have been really long, and I will see y'all tomorrow when I unload. Until then, keep the shiny side up. 73s. Be safe. Good evening, YouTube. How are you this evening? I guess I am okay. No, I'm not. Not happy. Not happy at all. What you see behind me is a hotel room. As if you didn't notice. I am at the Super 8 in Van Buren, Arkansas. When we last talked, I was getting ready to take a shower and head off to Houston with that load. Well, started heading that way. I got about 15 miles down 71, and the truck broke down. The check engine light came on, the engine service light came on, and the emergency stop light came on, and the truck ground itself to a halt as I pulled over to the side of the road. Not a good thing. The truck seemed to be running fine before that, didn't have any problems. So I called in, and they asked me if I could try and limp it back to Fort Smith. Otherwise, it was going to cost them $1,000 to get it towed because it had a load on it. I did. I was able to limp it back to Fort Smith at about 25-30 miles an hour, back 30 miles to the yard. Got it to the yard, dropped that load on it, and they reassigned it to somebody else and gave me an empty. And then I limped it up to the Freightliner here in Van Buren. Y'all may remember that I was at this Van Buren Freightliner a few months ago with the same truck with all the electrical problems. Well, I got it in there about, I guess it was about 3 o'clock, and he went over it and everything and found out that the DEF flow line was broken and was leaking DEF, and it had caused a short in the DEF transfer assembly or something along those lines. Starts getting Greek when they start talking mechanical stuff. Well, they didn't have the part. They hunted around. There is not one for 150 miles or so. There is not one at the Maverick Terminal in Fort Smith. Neither did the Freightliner the Maverick Yard in Little Rock have one. And neither did the Freightliner in Little Rock. So they're having to critical order the part. However, they do not know when they will be able to get it, because they will not be able to know whether they're going to be able to get it till tomorrow. So there you go. I'm here. They told me that about a little while ago, and then so I called FleetNet, and they put me here at the Super 8 again. Luckily, this time, this room is a non-smoking room, so it doesn't smell like the inside of a pothouse. So pretty much basically this broke down yet again on this particular truck. This is the fourth time it's been in the shop since I got it, and I've only had it a little over 6 weeks. The first time I put it in the shop is when I first got it, and then the weekend after that I spent 3 days in the shop, 2 or 3 days in the shop here, and then went in the shop again for another problem down at Little Rock, and now it's in the shop again. They can't tell me what would have caused this metal hose to break, other than the fact that it's a freight shaker. That's the only thing I can think of. So, not really having a good week. So I won't know till tomorrow what is going to happen, because they won't be able to find out till 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning whether or not they'll be able to get the part, and if they are able to get the part, when they're going to get it. So I will update y'all tomorrow, either in a video or on Facebook. So make sure you check out Facebook and follow there if you don't already, because I will make notices there. So until the next time we speak, again, keep the shiny side up, 73s, and keep it out of the shop. Be safe.